Hello, everyone. This is the MMA Insiders Show here on DonBest.com. I am Frank Trigg here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this week, Nick Kalikas is on vacation. Once again, we have a UFC on FX. This is number 7. They're down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, normally, when it's a hometown, someone goes to Ireland, they come here to Vegas, wherever they go, and they're not the hometown hero, it really doesn't make that much of a factor. When guys fight, the cage door closes, it's time to fight. It doesn't make a difference what the crowd says, what the judges think, what the refs think. It's time to do battle, except when the fight's in Brazil. When you're in Brazil and you're fighting a Brazilian and you're not Brazilian, you have a big problem. The crowd is enormous. They come after it. They bring it the entire time. The media talks down to you the entire time. Brazil is a very nationalistic society, and the main event and the co-main event for this fight are fighting Americans or fighting Brazilians. One English guy is fighting a Brazilian, and then an American is fighting a Brazilian. Co-main event first, C.B. Dollaway versus Daniel Sarafian. Daniel Sarafian is one of the hugest stars coming out of the Tough show right now. He's a Tough finalist. He is a big, big star. 13 million fans watched him fight down the Tough series down in Brazil, which dwarfs what the Tough series does up here in the United States of America. It is a big deal for this guy down there, and the fans are definitely going to be behind him. CB Dollaway in the past has been inconsistent. We're not really sure what CB we're getting. He hasn't quite reached his full potential. I think he still can get there, but not sure if this is the fight that's going to happen. From a line standpoint, Daniel Sarafian comes in at minus 170. CB Dollaway comes in at plus 140. I'm laying my money on CB Dollaway simply because his chin is suspect, but he's been in bigger battles all the time and thrives when the crowd is against him, which will definitely happen here against Daniel Sarafian. Now, Dollaway comes in with an MMA record of 12-4, has 5 wins via KO. Sarafian has an MMA record of 7-2, 6 wins are by KO. So we're not worried about CB getting knocked out. We only have to worry about CB getting submitted, and he's a wrestler of great strength and great power, which means he probably won't get submitted. So the only way I see Daniel winning this fight is by a decision. Of course, in Brazil, that can happen very easily. But my money is with CB Dollaway as the underdog. Make your own choices, respectively. Going to the main event, Michael Bisping, Vitor Belfort. Now, if Michael Bisping wins this fight, Michael Bisping will be fighting the championship title fight against Anderson Silva. At least that's what they said so far. If Vitor Belfort wins this fight, he will not be. He'll get moved down to the other ranks because he just lost Anderson Silva a short time ago. This is a very interesting fight because when it comes to trash talking, Bisping is back to his old ways. He has completely changed the way he's done. He played nice guy for a while, didn't work. Now he's being that bad guy, that heel again, talking a lot of noise. He's second only to Chael Sonnen and has officially talked himself into a title fight if he wins this fight because of doing so. Bisping comes in with a 23-4 record. Belfort has a 21-10 record, so on paper they're very close. Both guys have 14 wins via KO. I think Belfort has passed his prime. One of his major fights he's had was against Randy Couture back in Japan, when Randy Couture pushed him to the brink when he just came off a Greco-Roman tour and taught Vitor what it's like to be pushed against a guy and have that cardio system get fatigued. Vitor now has changed his styles, got off steroids, get himself cleaned up, brought himself all the way down to 185. He's ready to battle and battled for the title just a short time ago, but has passed his prime. I don't think he's ready to go. And with the weight loss and everything that goes on with him, I don't think he's ready to go physically or mentally. One of Vitor's biggest problems is his mental capability. He always seems to show up incapable after the beginning of the second round into the third round. He won't be able to maintain it, and this fight's a 5-round fight. I don't think he's able to hold on to that cardio pace for a long period of time, but I think Bisping will. Bisping got smart this time. He moved his camp from L.A. and moved all the way back to England to Wolfslayer to train. He knew full well if he was in L.A., he's going to have a lot of distractions. UFC calling him for last-minute media appearances. People want to get a hold of him. People want to go out. He went back home. It was very difficult to get a hold of him, so he could train and train hard for this one. I think for him it was a very smart move. It was very, very good for him to go ahead and pull that pace together. I think Bisping wins this fight because he's a better overall fighter. I do think he's going to bring some wrestling into the game that we have not seen before from him in previous times because he's been training so hard with Rampage Jackson, who also was fighting on that card. Now, let's understand, it's very difficult for these guys to try to learn something late in the game, but Bisping is a very big student of the game, but so is Vitor Belfort. Vitor can knock you out in the first round, and coming into the middle part of the second round, he still has that power. But after you start to get on him a little bit, mentally starts to break down, that's where I think we're going to see Bisping take over. If you're going to lay this bet down on any kind of line, bet Vitor to go early, but take Bisping later on in the fight. But I'm taking Bisping to win the fight overall. Bisping comes in at a minus 115, and so is Belfort, 115. It is a pick-em fight. I'm picking Bisping. Hopefully I win next week. We'll talk about it. If not, I'm sure they'll be taunting me on Twitter. I'm Frank Trigg. This is DonBest.com, and this is the MMA Insider Show. We'll talk to you soon.